Hi, thanks so much for stopping by Living Well's blog. And I want to welcome you, and I really appreciate you just taking the time to spend some time with us. My name is Tracy. I'm the other part of Living Well Ministry. I know you've already met Elizabeth, and today I just want to share a little story with you about a lesson I learned this week from our big power outage. I'm sure you heard about it on the news. But in Southern California, we had a huge power outage, and we literally had no electricity, no cell phones, and so it was very interesting way to spend our evening. And as we finished up dinner and it was getting really dark in the house, we decided we'd go out onto the driveway and just enjoy the last part of the sunset. And when we got out there, it was so fun to see that all of the kids were out playing and the neighbors were out, and some of the neighbors started to congregate on different driveways, and as it got dark you could see the beautiful stars and moon that God had created, and it was just a really great time. And people lingered. We all stayed. I talked to several of my neighbors that I hadn't talked to in weeks, and we all went inside, and as throughout the night the electricity came back on, and we got up the next morning. And then my daughter said something that really made me think about the whole experience. And she just said, I really had fun last night. And she even commented that it was really great not to sit in front of the TV or be on the computer or playing my game. And she said that was really fun. She said it was really funny for you adults to be out there laughing, kind of like kids. And I dropped her off at a friend's, and it just kind of hung with me there. What could I learn from that? And God is so about our relationships, and at Living Well we really try to encourage and challenge each other, and you in your relationships with your spouse and with your children and with other people. And I think I can take a really good lesson from our power outage, and I just wanted to share it with you. God asks us, or gives us, two commands. He says to love God with all your heart and to love others. So that's our charge here on earth, is to do that. And at Living Well, we really want to encourage you on how to love others and what that looks like. And He longs to use us. He has a plan for each of us. He's told us that, and He wants us to be His hands and feet to those around us. And He places people strategically in our life just to do that. And I think we often miss the opportunity because we are so busy that we don't really look for it each day. And more as we get connected in our technology, I think we miss the opportunity more and more, even in our own homes. And that day, the next day after the power outage, I was just really keenly aware of how I felt like we're so choking out our relationships being plugged in 24/7. And I'm the world's worst, so trust me that this is a lesson for me as well. But I just started noticing and thinking about how we multitask and how we use our phones to connect to the world, but to cut out so many other people that are right there in front of us, needing us for the moment. And I don't know about you, but if you're somebody who checks your phone all the time, or leaves it on the table in case you get a text or an email, or you're constantly looking at it, or you're multitasking and having to say, I'm listening, because it just might appear that you're not listening. Or I saw someone at the grocery store, and their kids were trying to talk to them, but they were so connected to their phone while standing in line. And it made me really aware of, am I really doing everything I can to love others and those around me? And when I'm plugged in like that. And one of the best examples, of course, is when Jesus was here on earth, and He was moving towards His death, the plan for His death for us. And He should have been so hyper-focused on heading down that road, which He was heading in that direction. But anytime somebody needed Him, He stopped and turned and gave them His full attention. Not half, not listening to those around Him or the disciples who were trying to shush the person who needs Him, but every time He stopped and gave them His full attention. He did it for Zacchaeus. He did it for the woman with the issue of blood, for the blind beggar. He did it for the young children. And he's the great example of, even though we have a plan for the day, even though we have something going on that we are in a hurry to get to, are we stopping and giving people our full attention, to love on them, as the second commandment says, to show who he is through us throughout our day. So today I want to just encourage you just to ask God to help you be mindful about, how is it that you're loving other people? Is it fully, or is it with half of your attention because of all the things that you're plugged into? And I also want you to consider maybe taking a break from some technology if you think that's necessary. I know our family, we do not use our telephones or answer the phone at the dinner table. And that's a great way for us to be connected during that time. But we also would like to take a technology break. And I would encourage you to do that, anywhere from not bringing phones to the table, to not texting while you're having conversations with others around you, to turning everything off, or maybe even having the Sabbath be the Sabbath and cut it all off for a day and just be with each other and love on each other and build your relationships. So I'd love to hear from you and see what your family is doing and how it's going, and if you maybe had a coup from everybody to begin with, but you found out that it really was a fun time to be together. So let us know what you think and how that went for you. And in the meantime, live well. God bless.